Throughout history, the myth of the movie monster has cast a long and dramatic shadow over our understanding of the animal kingdom. Long before the silver screen, ancient peoples painted stories of fearsome beasts on cave walls and wove legends of monstrous creatures into their folklore. Wolves, bears, and great cats became symbols of untamed power, their images distorted by the flickering torchlight of imagination. With the advent of cinema, these primal fears found new life. Filmmakers, eager to thrill audiences, transformed real animals into larger-than-life villains. The roar of a lion, the silent glide of a shark, the looming shadow of a bear, each became a symbol of unstoppable menace, amplified by music and special effects. Over time, the line between fact and fiction blurred. The great white shark, for example, was elevated from a rarely seen ocean predator to a cinematic terror, its reputation forever changed by a single film. Lions and tigers, often portrayed as relentless hunters, became the embodiment of danger lurking just beyond the campfire's glow. Yet scientific analysis tells a different story. The so-called monsters of the wild are, in reality, complex organisms finely tuned to their environments. Their power is matched by caution, their aggression balanced by intricate social bonds and survival strategies. Most spend their days not in pursuit of violence, but in the quiet routines of feeding, resting, and raising young. The grizzly bear, so often depicted as a rampaging brute, is more likely to be found fishing for salmon or nurturing its cubs. The great white shark, far from being a mindless killer, navigates vast oceans with a grace and intelligence honed by millions of years of evolution. Culturally, these animals have been both feared and revered. In some societies, they are totems of strength and wisdom. In others, omens of chaos and destruction. The stories we tell about them reveal more about our own hopes and anxieties than about the creatures themselves. The reality is that the most feared animals are often the least interested in conflict. Their lives are governed by the rhythms of nature, not by the scripts of horror films. Even the most venomous or powerful creatures prefer avoidance to confrontation, their so-called aggression a last resort in the struggle for survival. Scientific observation reveals that most encounters between predator and potential threat end not in violence but in retreat. The myth of the relentless monster is, in truth, a rare exception, an outlier magnified by legend and media. When we examine the data, it becomes clear. The blockbuster reputation of these animals is built on a foundation of exaggeration and misunderstanding. Their true nature is far more nuanced, shaped by evolutionary pressures and ecological roles. Sometimes the greatest dangers come not from the giants of legend, but from the unassuming. A tiny, brilliantly colored frog can harbor enough toxin to fell a predator many times its size, while the largest carnivores may be more wary than wrathful. The animal kingdom is a tapestry of relationships, each species playing its part in a delicate balance. The myth of the movie monster, while captivating, obscures the true wonder and complexity of these creatures. As the dramatic music fades and the lights come up, what remains is a world of astonishing beauty and subtlety. The real story of dangerous animals is not one of monsters, but of survivors, each adapted to thrive in a world of constant change. In the chapters ahead, we will explore which animals truly deserve their fearsome reputations, which have been unfairly maligned by myth, and which silent, unassuming creatures are the ones to watch. By journey's end, the myth of the movie monster will give way to a deeper understanding, one rooted in science, history, and the enduring marvel of the natural world. Our perception of animal danger is shaped by a relentless stream of media, where the line between reality and spectacle is often blurred. Day after day, dramatic footage and sensational headlines flood our screens, each vying for our attention with stories of wild predators and their supposed threat to our world. Nature documentaries, news segments, and viral videos often focus on the most intense moments: predators in pursuit, claws and teeth bared, the soundtrack swelling to heighten the drama. These images are carefully curated to evoke fear and awe, reinforcing the idea that the animal kingdom is a battleground. The so-called podcast predator emerges from this environment, a mythic figure built up by endless retellings and debates, where the wolf, the bear, or the mountain lion is cast as a cunning adversary, lurking just beyond the edge of civilization. Podcasts and talk shows amplify this narrative, dissecting every rare encounter and debating the risks of reintroducing predators to their native habitats. These discussions, often lacking scientific nuance, can make the wild seem far more perilous than it truly is. What is often missing is context. The behavior of a predator in a documentary, perhaps a lion pride's most dramatic hunts, filmed over months and edited into a few minutes, does not reflect the animal's daily life, which is mostly spent resting, socializing, or searching for food without conflict. The reality is that most wild animals avoid unnecessary confrontation. Predators are not mindless aggressors. Their actions are driven by survival, not malice. The majority of their time is spent conserving energy, caring for young, or maintaining social bonds within their group. Yet, the media and podcast narratives often frame these animals as problems to be solved or adversaries to be conquered, rather than as integral parts of complex ecosystems. This distortion has psychological effects. When the only stories we hear are of danger and conflict, our brains are primed to expect the worst. The availability heuristic, a mental shortcut where we judge the likelihood of events by how easily examples come to mind, makes rare animal attacks seem common and inevitable. This fear can influence policy, leading to calls for culling or restricting animal populations even when the actual risk is minimal. It can also affect conservation efforts, as animals seen as threats are less likely to garner public support for protection. To truly understand the risks and realities of living alongside wild animals, we must look beyond the hype. By examining evidence, statistics, and the true nature of animal behavior, we can separate the myth of the podcast predator from the reality of the animal itself, a creature shaped by millions of years of evolution, deserving of respect and understanding, not fear. When you picture the most dangerous animals in the wild, certain icons immediately leap to mind: towering bears, roaring lions, and massive crocodiles. These species have become the poster children for danger, their reputations cemented by stories, legends, and dramatic documentaries. But how much of this notoriety is deserved, and how much is myth? Take the bear, for example. The image of a grizzly or polar bear as the ultimate symbol of raw, untamable power is deeply ingrained in our collective psyche, yet the reality of their ecological role and behavior is far more nuanced. Bears are apex omnivores playing a crucial role in their ecosystems. Grizzlies, for instance, help disperse seeds and nutrients by foraging and digging, while polar bears are vital in regulating seal populations in the Arctic. Their power is undeniable, but their interactions with other animals are often marked by caution and intelligence rather than aggression. The polar bear, often described as the only animal that actively hunts humans, is in fact a specialist predator of seals. Their hunting strategies are adapted to the harsh Arctic, relying on stealth and patience. While they are formidable, their encounters with unfamiliar species, including humans, are typically marked by curiosity or avoidance, not relentless pursuit. The misconception of bears as mindless aggressors is persistent, but in reality they are highly intelligent and generally avoid unnecessary conflict. Their reputation as relentless predators is largely a product of misunderstanding and sensationalism. Most bear attacks are defensive, not predatory. Case studies from North America and Eurasia consistently show that incidents typically occur when a bear is surprised or feels its cubs are threatened. These are not calculated acts of predation, but instinctive responses to perceived danger. The maternal instinct of bears is powerful, and their defensive behavior is a testament to their evolutionary success as caregivers, not as monsters of the wild. There are, however, exceptions that challenge the general rule. The sloth bear of India, for example, is a case study in unpredictability. Unlike its northern relatives, the sloth bear has evolved in an environment with large predators like tigers and leopards, shaping its notoriously aggressive temperament. Sloth bears are known to charge with little warning and have even been documented driving away tigers. Their unpredictable nature and willingness to defend themselves fiercely make them genuinely dangerous, far more so than their more famous cousins. In terms of human fatalities and injuries, sloth bears are responsible for a disproportionate number compared to other bear species. Their ecological role as insectivores and fruit eaters belies their capacity for aggression when threatened. Ultimately, the reputation of wild animal icons is often shaped more by myth and media than by ecological reality. Apex predators, like bears, lions, and crocodiles, are essential to the balance of their ecosystems, but their danger to other animals is often exaggerated. The true story of these animals is one of complexity, adaptation, and misunderstood roles in the wild. Reputation, as it turns out, isn't everything. The world of big cats is a fascinating blend of myth, legend, and scientific reality. Their reputations have been shaped by centuries of stories, but the truth is often far more nuanced than popular belief suggests. At the apex of their ecosystems, these felines are marvels of evolution, masters of stealth, power, and adaptability. Yet their actual danger and behavior are often misunderstood, with scientific studies revealing a spectrum of temperament and threat across species. Take the puma, also known as the cougar or mountain lion. Despite their fearsome reputation as shadowy stalkers, research shows that pumas are among the most elusive and cautious of all big cats. Their myth as relentless predators is fueled by rare encounters and sensational tales, but GPS collar studies have revealed that pumas avoid confrontation whenever possible, often traveling miles out of their way to steer clear of perceived threats. In reality, these cats are so skittish that even the sound of a twig snapping can send them fleeing. Camera trap data from North and South America consistently shows pumas vanishing at the slightest disturbance. While rare incidents have made headlines, such as a young puma being overpowered by another animal, these are statistical outliers. The vast majority of pumas will choose to disappear into the wilderness rather than risk a confrontation. Scientific reviews of puma behavior confirm that they are far more likely to retreat than attack, making their reputation as relentless hunters of large animals somewhat exaggerated. Contrast this with the tiger, whose reputation as a formidable predator is well supported by both science and history. Tigers are solitary, territorial, and possess a combination of size, strength, and stealth that is unmatched. Studies in India and Southeast Asia have documented tigers adapting to a variety of habitats, from mangrove swamps to dense forests, always at the top of the food chain. In regions where their natural prey is scarce, tigers have been observed shifting their hunting patterns, sometimes targeting alternative prey. Historical records and scientific literature document cases where tigers, especially older or injured individuals, have adapted their strategies to survive. These adaptations are not the norm, but they are frequent enough to cement the tiger's reputation as a true apex predator. Their ability to learn and adjust their behavior is a testament to their intelligence and survival instincts. The myth of the man-eater is rooted in real events, but scientific analysis shows that such behavior is usually a last resort, not a preference. Most tigers prefer wild prey and avoid unnecessary risks. Their solitary nature, immense power, and ability to move silently through dense cover make them a genuine threat to any animal in their territory, reinforcing their legendary status. Now, consider the lion, often called the king of the beasts. While their regal image is iconic, scientific studies reveal a complex social structure that is often underestimated. Lions are the only truly social big cats, living in prides that rely on cooperation and strategy. Their reputation for laziness is largely a result of their energy-saving behavior during the heat of the day. While footage often shows males resting, field studies have documented the extraordinary teamwork and power of lionesses during hunts, revealing a level of coordination rarely seen in other predators. A pride of lionesses is a formidable force, capable of bringing down prey many times their size. Their hunting success rates and ability to adapt strategies to different prey types are well documented in scientific literature. These feats of strength and strategy are not just impressive, they are essential for the survival of the pride, and they highlight the lion's true capabilities beyond the myths. Their social intelligence and ability to tackle immense challenges together make them far more dangerous and capable than their reputation for idleness suggests. In the world of big cats, lions stand out as the ultimate social strategists, their group dynamics a subject of ongoing scientific fascination. Turning to the jaguar, the enigmatic cat of the Americas, we find a species whose reputation is often overshadowed by its old-world cousins. Jaguars are solitary, elusive, and supremely adapted to their environment. Scientific studies have measured their bite force as the strongest of any big cat, relative to size. This incredible power allows them to prey on armored reptiles and mammals alike, crushing turtle shells and skulls with ease, a feat unmatched by other big cats. Jaguars are stocky, muscular, and built for grappling in dense jungle environments. Their hunting style is unique. They often ambush prey from water or dense cover, using stealth and explosive strength. While their typical prey, such as capybaras and caimans, may not sound as dramatic as the megafauna hunted by lions or tigers, the jaguar's compact power and versatility are extraordinary. Like pumas, jaguars are incredibly shy and rarely seen, with camera trap studies confirming their preference for dense, remote habitats. Their secretive nature means that much of their behavior remains a mystery. In terms of sheer physical capability, the jaguar is a powerhouse. Its reputation as a jungle ghost is well deserved, but its true strength and adaptability are often underestimated. Scientific research continues to reveal new facets of this remarkable predator, challenging old myths and highlighting the complexity of the animal kingdom. If there is one animal that truly deserves far more respect and awe than it receives, it is the crocodile. Crocodiles are not just formidable predators, they are living relics, survivors from an ancient world that predates the rise and fall of the dinosaurs. Their evolutionary lineage stretches back over 200 million years, making them one of the oldest and most successful groups of large predators on the planet. Over countless millennia, crocodiles have honed a set of survival strategies that are as effective today as they were in the age of the dinosaurs. Their patience is legendary. A crocodile can remain perfectly still for hours, conserving energy and waiting for the precise moment to strike. Every part of their body is built for survival. Armored skin, a powerful tail for propulsion, and jaws capable of exerting one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom. Their hunting technique is a masterclass in ambush predation. With explosive speed, they launch from the water, jaws snapping shut with bone-crushing force. Once they seize their prey, they use the infamous death roll, a spinning maneuver that disorients and drowns their victim, a method perfected over millions of years. Their ability to blend seamlessly into their environment makes them nearly invisible, a shadow beneath the water, a silent threat that is almost impossible to detect. Crocodiles are also masters of timing, often hunting at dawn or dusk when visibility is low and their prey is most vulnerable. Their survival strategies extend beyond hunting. Crocodiles are expert thermoregulators, basking in the sun to warm up and slipping into the water to cool down, allowing them to thrive in a range of harsh environments. Their reproductive strategies are equally remarkable. Female crocodiles fiercely guard their nests, and some species even carry their hatchlings to the water, ensuring the next generation has a fighting chance. As apex predators and opportunistic feeders, crocodiles play a crucial role in maintaining the health of their ecosystems, controlling populations of fish, mammals, and even scavenging carrion. Their adaptability is astonishing. Crocodiles inhabit rivers, lakes, swamps, and even brackish coastal waters, thriving in environments where few large predators can survive. This resilience has allowed them to outlast mass extinctions and environmental upheavals that wiped out countless other species. Their physiology is a marvel of evolution, armored against attack, senses finely tuned for both land and water, and a metabolism that allows them to go months without food if necessary. In every way, crocodiles are the embodiment of evolutionary success, their design virtually unchanged for millions of years because it is so perfectly suited to their way of life. To underestimate the crocodile is to ignore one of nature's most enduring and effective survivors, a creature whose presence shapes entire ecosystems and whose story is written in the fossil record of our planet. In the grand tapestry of life, the crocodile stands as a true champion of survival, adaptation, and ecological importance, underrated only by those who fail to see the depth of its legacy. The animal kingdom is home to some of the most awe-inspiring giants on Earth. Their sheer size commands respect, but their true nature is far more complex than their intimidating appearance might suggest. These large animals are often misunderstood, with their reputations shaped by myths, stories, and fleeting glimpses into their lives. Take gorillas, for example. These apes are the embodiment of strength, yet their societies are built on cooperation, care, and intricate social bonds. Popular culture has long painted gorillas as fearsome monsters, but this image is a distortion of reality. In truth, gorillas are gentle giants. Their daily lives revolve around foraging for plants, grooming one another, and nurturing their young. Their intelligence is remarkable. Gorillas use tools, communicate through a rich array of vocalizations and gestures, and display empathy and problem-solving skills. Social structure is central to gorilla life. Each troop is led by a dominant silverback, who maintains order and protects the group. Aggression is rare and usually limited to displays or brief confrontations between rivals. Encounters between different groups are typically resolved through displays of strength rather than violence, with actual fights being uncommon. When a gorilla beats its chest or charges, it is most often a bluff, a way to communicate dominance or warn off intruders without resorting to harm. Once the message is received, the tension dissipates and peace returns to the group. Chimpanzees, another great ape, present a more complex picture. Their societies are dynamic, with shifting alliances and intricate hierarchies. While their strength is impressive, the myth of overwhelming power is exaggerated. Chimpanzees are strong, but their true advantage lies in their intelligence and adaptability. They are tool users, problem solvers, and skilled communicators, capable of cooperation and even deception within their groups. In the wild, chimpanzees are cautious and tend to avoid unnecessary conflict, especially with outsiders. Most aggressive behaviors are directed within their own communities, often as part of complex social negotiations. Displays of dominance, vocalizations, and subtle gestures help maintain order and resolve disputes. When faced with potential threats, wild chimpanzees are far more likely to retreat than to attack. Their agility and awareness of their environment allow them to avoid danger with remarkable speed. Turning to elephants, we find some of the most intelligent and socially complex animals on land. African elephants, in particular, are known for their matriarchal societies where family groups are led by experienced females. Elephants communicate through vocalizations, body language, and even seismic signals transmitted through the ground. While generally peaceful, elephants can become highly aggressive, especially adult males in musth, a period marked by surging hormones and heightened territoriality. During these times, their power and determination are unmatched, and their actions are driven by natural instincts rather than malice. An elephant's size and speed make them formidable, and their intelligence allows them to assess threats and respond accordingly. Indian elephants, while similar in many ways, are often more placid, with social groups that reflect a slightly different dynamic, but the same deep bonds and communication. For both apes and elephants, understanding their motivations is key. Their actions are shaped by social needs, protection of family, and the drive to maintain harmony within their groups. Aggression is rarely predatory. It is most often a response to perceived threats, a need to defend the vulnerable, or in the case of elephants, the influence of powerful biological changes. The protective instincts of these animals are profound, and their displays of strength are usually warnings rather than attacks. When they act, it is to create space, to safeguard their own, and to restore balance to their world. The danger they pose is a byproduct of their immense size and strength, not a desire to harm. Even a single movement, a kick, a trunk swing, a powerful arm, can have dramatic consequences, often unintended. To truly appreciate these gentle giants is to recognize their intelligence, their social complexity, and the misunderstood nature of their behaviors. They are not monsters, but magnificent beings deserving of respect and understanding. While we often focus on the teeth and claws of big, charismatic predators, the true masters of danger in the animal kingdom are frequently the ones that slip by unnoticed, small, strange, and astonishingly lethal. The world's most dangerous animals are often minuscule, blending seamlessly into their environments, yet wielding power far beyond their size. These creatures are armed not with brute force, but with unique adaptations, venoms, toxins, and chemical defenses that can incapacitate or kill in moments. Profoundly underrated, their survival tactics are a masterclass in evolutionary innovation. Many rely on venom, a complex cocktail of proteins and enzymes, delivered with surgical precision through fangs, stingers, or spines. A single sting or bite can paralyze prey, deter predators, or secure a meal, all with minimal effort or risk. Take the stonefish, for example, a master of camouflage, perfectly mimicking the rocky sea floor. Its disguise is so effective that even experienced predators and prey overlook it, allowing the stonefish to ambush with deadly efficiency. When threatened, it erects venomous dorsal spines, injecting a neurotoxin that can instantly immobilize or kill. This adaptation not only deters predators, but also secures the stonefish's place as one of the most dangerous reef dwellers. In the world of small animals, there is rarely a struggle, just a moment of contact and the invisible weapon does the rest. Even the mightiest predators cannot match the efficiency and surprise of these tiny assassins. On land, the diversity of small, dangerous animals is staggering. The bullet ant, for instance, is renowned for its excruciating sting, a defense mechanism that deters even the boldest predators. Its venom is a potent neurotoxin, evolved to protect the colony and ensure the survival of the species. Social insects like ants and wasps use coordinated attacks, overwhelming threats with sheer numbers and chemical weaponry. Their stings may not always be lethal, but the pain and disruption they cause are enough to keep most would-be predators at bay. In some cases, repeated stings or exposure to venom can be fatal, especially to smaller animals or those with heightened sensitivity. Venomous snakes, spiders, and scorpions represent another tier of danger, each with specialized adaptations for hunting and defense. Their ecological impact is immense, controlling populations of prey and maintaining balance within their ecosystems. Their ability to remain unseen makes them formidable predators and elusive threats, shaping the behavior of countless other species. These small, venomous creatures are the true S-tier threats of the animal world, operating on instinct, immune to intimidation or negotiation. Their actions are swift, precise, and governed by millions of years of evolution. Unrelatable and emotionless, their weapons are invisible, their motives purely survival. The cone snail, for example, uses a harpoon-like tooth to inject venom into unsuspecting prey, while the box jellyfish drifts silently, its tentacles armed with thousands of microscopic stingers. Their danger is absolute, their methods chemical and unseen. While large predators rely on strength and speed, these small creatures depend on stealth, chemistry, and surprise. The rainforest floor, for example, is alive with hidden dangers, tiny insects, spiders, and amphibians, each playing a vital role in the ecosystem. In this world, the lottery of life and death is played out in miniature, with adaptations and survival strategies as diverse as the animals themselves. Now that we've explored which animals are overrated and which are underrated, let's dive into the fascinating world of animal defense. When a predator approaches, the outcome often depends on the prey's behavior and natural defense mechanisms. The first step for many animals is heightened awareness. Prey species constantly scan their surroundings, using keen senses to detect threats early. If a predator is detected, some animals rely on rapid escape. Birds take flight in coordinated flocks, while fish dart away in synchronized schools, making it difficult for a predator to single out one target. Herding animals use the power of numbers. By moving as a group, they confuse predators and reduce the chance of any one individual being caught. Some species employ physical deterrents. Porcupines raise their quills, and skunks display their tails, warning predators of the consequences of an attack. Bright coloration, known as aposematism, signals toxicity or unpalatability. Poison dart frogs and monarch butterflies advertise their defenses, discouraging predators from making a fatal mistake. Some animals use distraction. Lizards may shed their tails, and octopuses release ink, giving them precious seconds to escape. Social animals often form defensive formations. Musk oxen create a circle with their horns facing outward, while elephants surround their young, presenting a united front to any threat. Insects like bees and ants rely on overwhelming force. A coordinated swarm can drive away or even kill much larger predators. Some animals use intimidation. Pufferfish inflate their bodies, and frilled lizards expand their frills, making themselves appear larger and more threatening. Warning signals are common. Rattlesnakes shake their tails, and cobras spread their hoods, sending a clear message to would-be attackers. Camouflage and mimicry are powerful tools. Some animals blend seamlessly into their environment, while others mimic more dangerous species to avoid predation. Physical barriers can be effective. Armadillos and pangolins curl into armored balls, making it nearly impossible for predators to harm them. Some prey display their fitness through dramatic leaps or stotting, signaling to predators that they are not worth the effort of a chase. Visual displays can startle or confuse. Cuttlefish flash bright colors, and peacock spiders perform elaborate dances to deter threats. Aggressive posturing is sometimes enough. Badgers and wolverines bare their teeth and growl, convincing even larger predators to back down. Predators constantly weigh the risks and rewards. If a prey animal appears too difficult or dangerous, the predator may abandon the hunt. These strategies, honed by millions of years of evolution, show that survival is often a matter of outsmarting, outmaneuvering, or out-intimidating the threat. In the animal kingdom, confidence, awareness, and the right defense can mean the difference between life and death. When the threat passes, those who stood their ground or used their defenses wisely live to see another day. As we journey through the world of dangerous animals, a profound lesson emerges. Our relationship with wildlife is shaped not just by instinctive fear, but by the depth of our respect for the natural world and its intricate balance. For generations, stories and legends have cast the great predators, bears, tigers, and big cats, as fearsome adversaries, creatures to be avoided or conquered. Yet in reality, these animals are often cautious, elusive, and far more interested in survival than in confrontation. They are sentient beings, each with their own methods of communication. subtle glances, body language, vocalizations, signaling intent, warning, or curiosity within their own communities and across species lines. Most encounters in the wild are brief exchanges where both animal and observer retreat, each respecting the other's space, and the delicate equilibrium of the ecosystem remains undisturbed. True danger often lies with the silent, hidden creatures, those whose survival depends on camouflage, patience, and unpredictability. The crocodile, ancient and silent, waits just beneath the water's surface, a master of patience and adaptation. The stonefish, nearly invisible on the reef, is a testament to the power of blending in, a strategy honed over millennia. The venomous snake, moving silently through the undergrowth, reminds us that the most potent threats are often the least conspicuous. These animals operate according to ancient ecological rules, playing vital roles in maintaining the balance of their environments, controlling populations, recycling nutrients, and shaping the very landscapes they inhabit. When we replace fear with respect, we begin to see the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of every species in the web of ecological balance. Respect means understanding the needs and boundaries of each animal, recognizing the space required by a bull elephant or the territory of a solitary predator. It means observing from afar, allowing animals like gorillas to live undisturbed and appreciating their complex social structures and communication. It means moving with caution and awareness in habitats where danger may be hidden and adapting our behavior to minimize disturbance and risk. Respect is not the absence of fear, but the transformation of fear into understanding. An awareness that leads to careful, informed actions. Where fear provokes panic, respect encourages calm observation, alertness and preparedness. Qualities that benefit both animal and observer. Respect is rooted in knowledge, learning the signals animals use to communicate, understanding their roles in the ecosystem, and recognizing the signs of stress or aggression. It means knowing when to make your presence known to avoid startling an animal, and when to remain still and silent to observe without intrusion. It means acknowledging that every step into the wild is a step into another creature's home, and acting with humility and care. This perspective is essential for conservation. When we respect animals as integral parts of the ecosystem, we are more likely to support strategies that protect habitats, preserve biodiversity, and ensure the survival of species. Ecological balance depends on the presence of predators and prey, scavengers and engineers, each fulfilling a role that sustains the health of the land, water and air. Conservation strategies rooted in respect focus on habitat preservation, the restoration of natural processes, and the reduction of human-wildlife conflict through education and thoughtful management. By learning about animal communication, alarm calls, scent marking, territorial displays, we can better anticipate animal behavior and avoid unnecessary risks. Most sounds in the wild are harmless, reminders of the diversity and subtlety of life, not signals of imminent danger. Awareness, knowledge, and respect are the tools that allow us to coexist with even the most formidable animals, ensuring safety for all and the continued vitality of the wild. In honoring the boundaries and needs of wildlife, we become stewards of the natural world, guardians of its mysteries and wonders. True coexistence is built on understanding, on the recognition that every animal, from the smallest insect to the largest predator, has a place and a purpose. And in that understanding, we find not only safety, but a sense of awe and adventure that comes from sharing the world with such remarkable life. Beneath the surface of rivers, forests, and deserts, a silent language is spoken, a language of venom and defense, of survival written in molecules. Venomous animals have evolved some of the most remarkable adaptations in the natural world, each toxin a complex blend of chemistry and evolutionary strategy. Across continents, snakes wield venom as both weapon and shield. The neurotoxins of cobras and the hemotoxins of vipers are marvels of biochemical engineering, designed to immobilize prey with precision and efficiency. But the story of venom is not limited to serpents. In the oceans, the blue-ringed octopus carries a toxin so potent that a single bite can halt a predator in its tracks. The stonefish, nearly invisible among coral rubble, uses its venom not to hunt, but to deter the unwary, a masterclass in passive defense. In rainforests, tiny frogs secrete alkaloids through their skin. Chemical defenses borrowed from their insect diet, a dazzling testament to the interconnectedness of ecosystems. Even the humble cone snail, gliding over reef sand, harbors a cocktail of toxins capable of subduing prey in milliseconds. Each of these animals is a specialist, their venom reflecting the challenges and opportunities of their unique environments. Yet venom is more than a tool for hunting or protection. It shapes entire food webs, influencing which species thrive and which retreat. Predators learn to avoid the warning colors of the coral snake, while certain birds and mammals evolve resistance, fueling an evolutionary arms race that unfolds over millennia. Venoms can spark innovation in the animal kingdom, spurring the development of specialized fangs, elaborate warning displays, and intricate hunting strategies. The ecological role of venomous animals extends far beyond fear. They control populations of prey and competitors, recycling nutrients and maintaining balance within their habitats. Their presence is a signal of ecosystem health, a reminder that diversity and adaptation are the engines of survival. From the rainforest floor to the ocean's depths, venomous creatures reveal the hidden complexity of nature's design. Their toxins, shaped by countless generations, are not merely symbols of danger, but of resilience and ingenuity. In the silent world of venom, every drop tells a story of struggle, adaptation, and the relentless drive to survive. In the wild, not every survival story is written in fangs or venom. Sometimes, survival depends on the art of becoming invisible, or on the clever trick of pretending to be something you're not. Welcome to the world of camouflage and mimicry, where deception is the difference between life and death. Across the insect world, camouflage is an evolutionary masterpiece. The leaf insect, with its jagged edges and delicate green veins, vanishes among the foliage, each movement mimicking the sway of real leaves in the wind. Praying mantises adopt the shapes and colors of flowers and bark, lying in wait for unsuspecting prey that draws just a little too close. Even the humble stick insect becomes a living twig, its body indistinguishable from the branches it clings to. Reptiles, too, are masters of disguise. The chameleon's color-changing skin is legendary, shifting in seconds to match the greens of moss, the browns of bark, or even the reds of autumn leaves. But camouflage isn't just about color. The horned viper buries itself beneath desert sands, its eyes just above the surface, while the mossy leaf-tailed gecko hugs tree trunks, its body fringed to break up its outline and scatter shadows. Beneath the waves, marine life has perfected the art of illusion. The octopus, unmatched in its ability to shift both color and texture, can melt into rock, coral, or sand, becoming invisible to both predator and prey. Some fish sport bold stripes or false eye spots, confusing attackers about which end is which. The mimic octopus takes deception even further, imitating the shapes and movements of venomous sea snakes, lionfish, and flatfish to deter would-be predators. Mimicry, the art of imitation, is another evolutionary strategy. The harmless king snake wears the same bold bands as the venomous coral snake, tricking predators into keeping their distance. In the rainforest, the owl butterfly flashes enormous eye-like patterns on its wings, startling birds into thinking they face a much larger foe. Camouflage and mimicry are silent performances, honed by millions of years of natural selection. These adaptations aren't just about hiding, they're about survival, communication, and sometimes even hunting. In the endless contest between predator and prey, those who blend in or deceive are often the ones who endure. In a world where being seen can mean being eaten, the greatest weapon is sometimes the power to disappear, or to become something else entirely. In every corner of the wild, apex predators reign supreme. These are the hunters at the very top of the food chain, shaping their environments with every move they make. Their presence is felt from the shadowy depths of the jungle, across the endless blue of the ocean to the sun-scorched sands of the desert. In the jungle, the tiger is a master of stealth. With padded feet and striped camouflage, it melts into the dappled light, stalking deer and wild boar in near silence. A single, calculated pounce is all it takes, precision honed by years of instinct and practice. Tigers not only control prey populations, but also maintain the delicate balance of the forest, ensuring that no single species overwhelms the ecosystem. Beneath the waves, the great white shark is a legend. With rows of razor-sharp teeth and an acute sense of smell, it navigates vast distances, hunting seals, fish, and even other sharks. Its role goes beyond predation. By culling the weak and sick, the great white keeps marine populations healthy and diverse. The ocean's apex predators are crucial to the survival of coral reefs and the stability of the sea's food webs. In the desert, the African lion stands as the ultimate hunter. Working cooperatively in prides, lions use patience, teamwork, and raw power to bring down prey many times their size. Their hunts are dramatic battles of endurance and strategy, each success crucial for survival in a land where every meal is hard won. By preying on the most vulnerable, lions help prevent overgrazing and keep the savanna landscape in balance. Apex predators are not just hunters, they are keystone species, holding entire ecosystems together. When they thrive, so too does the web of life beneath them. When they disappear, the balance unravels and the wild itself is changed forever. In the fierce competition of nature, apex predators remind us that true power often lies in maintaining harmony, not in domination. They are the silent architects of their realms, shaping the world in ways seen and unseen. They lurk in the shadows, glide through the night, or slither silently through the undergrowth. Animals whose reputations are often shaped by fear, not facts. But behind the myths and the monstrous headlines, misunderstood creatures like bats, sharks, and snakes play roles far more fascinating and vital than most realize. Take bats, for example. Often cast as harbingers of darkness or disease, bats are actually unsung heroes of the ecosystem. A single bat can devour thousands of insects in one night, acting as a natural pest controller for crops and forests alike. Some species pollinate flowers and disperse seeds, ensuring the survival of entire plant communities. Far from being bloodthirsty fiends, the vast majority of bats feed on fruit, nectar, or insects, living quietly above our heads and rarely crossing paths with humans. Then there are sharks, ancient survivors whose sleek forms inspire both awe and terror. Despite their portrayal as relentless man-eaters, most sharks are shy, cautious, and uninterested in humans. Attacks are exceedingly rare, and the real threat is to the sharks themselves. Millions are killed each year, often for their fins. As apex predators, sharks keep ocean ecosystems healthy, preventing imbalances that could ripple through the food chain. Without them, the seas would be a poorer, emptier place. And what about snakes? Feared for their venom and stealth, snakes are often seen as symbols of danger, yet most species are harmless, and even venomous snakes avoid confrontation whenever possible. Snakes help control rodent populations, limiting the spread of disease and protecting crops. Their presence signals a healthy, functioning ecosystem. These misunderstood marvels are not monsters, they are essential, intricate threads in the fabric of life. By looking past the myths and seeing their true nature, we discover allies, not adversaries, in the wild world around us. Understanding leads to respect, and respect is the first step toward coexistence. When we think of intelligence, it's easy to picture a human face deep in thought, but the animal kingdom is brimming with clever minds, and their brilliance often unfolds far beyond our gaze. From the depths of the oceans to the highest treetops, animals have been solving problems, inventing tools, and outsmarting challenges for millions of years. Consider the New Caledonian crow. These birds with glossy black feathers and sharp eyes are masters of invention. In the wild, they fashion tools from twigs and leaves, bending and shaping them to extract grubs hidden deep inside tree bark. In laboratory studies, they've even figured out how to bend wires into hooks to retrieve food, an act of creativity once thought unique to humans. But crows are only the beginning. Elephants, with their powerful trunks and gentle eyes, use sticks to scratch unreachable itches and dig for water beneath the earth. In one remarkable experiment, an elephant named Kandula stacked cubes to reach a treat, demonstrating not just memory, but insight and planning. Dolphins, too, are famed for their intelligence. These ocean acrobats use sponges as protective nose guards while foraging on the seafloor, a trick passed down from mother to calf. In the wild, pods communicate with signature whistles, each dolphin developing a unique call, like a name to identify itself among the group. Even octopuses, the shape-shifting escape artists of the sea, astonish scientists with their problem-solving skills. They open jars, navigate mazes, and camouflage themselves in an instant, blending intelligence with artistry. And let's not forget the language of the wild. Prairie dogs use a complex system of chirps and barks to warn about predators, even describing intruders by species, size, and color. Bees dance intricate patterns to direct hive mates to distant flowers, mapping out routes with a waggle. These stories are just the surface of animal intelligence, a world where learning, memory, and creativity thrive without words or textbooks. Each breakthrough reminds us we are not alone in our capacity to think, solve, and imagine. The wild is alive with minds as curious, resourceful, and surprising as our own. So, next time you see a bird with a twig, a dolphin with a sponge, or an elephant with a stick, remember, intelligence has many faces, and some of them are found in the most unexpected places. In the vast theatre of the wild, survival is rarely a solo act. Beneath the surface of every forest, reef, and savanna, countless species have mastered the art of partnership, working together in ways that benefit, protect, and sometimes challenge one another. This is the world of symbiosis, where life forms intertwine their fates for mutual gain, unexpected alliances, or even quiet rivalry. Consider the clownfish and the sea anemone. At first glance, their relationship seems improbable. The clownfish, a splash of orange darting among the anemone's stinging tentacles. But look closer, and you'll see a perfect partnership. The clownfish's mucus-coated skin keeps it safe from the anemone's venom, while its movements help circulate water, bringing nutrients to its host. In return, the anemone provides shelter from predators, offering a fortress among the coral. On the African plains, the oxpecker bird perches atop buffalo, zebras, and giraffes. With sharp eyes and a quick beak, it plucks ticks and pests from their hides, earning a meal while its host enjoys relief from itchy parasites. Yet this relationship isn't always harmonious. Sometimes oxpeckers will peck at wounds to keep them open, feeding on the blood as well as the bugs. In nature, even partnerships can be complex and imperfect. Dive into the coral reefs and you'll find another iconic alliance, the cleaner wrasser and its clientele. Fish of all shapes and sizes line up at cleaning stations, where the tiny wrasser nibbles away dead skin and parasites. The cleaners get a steady food source, while their customers enjoy better health and brighter scales. A win-win in the underwater world. Even the smallest creatures rely on teamwork. Leafcutter ants, for example, cultivate underground gardens of fungus. They tirelessly harvest leaves, not for themselves, but to feed the fungi, which in turn becomes their primary food source. This farming partnership has evolved over millions of years, each species dependent on the other for survival. Not all symbioses are about mutual benefit. Some are one-sided, like the remora fish, which hitches rides on sharks and rays, snacking on leftovers and enjoying safe passage without giving much in return. Others, like the relationship between certain butterflies and ants, blur the line between helper and exploiter. These intricate connections shape entire ecosystems, reminding us that in the wild, strength often lies in unity. Every partnership, whether mutual, one-sided, or somewhere in between, helps weave the complex, ever-changing web of life. In the animal kingdom, cooperation is as vital as competition, and the dance of survival is often performed in pairs. As the sun dips below the horizon, a different world awakens. The darkness that signals rest for some is the curtain call for others, the nocturnal animals, masters of the night. In the shadowy hours, survival demands more than strength or speed. It requires extraordinary adaptations, honed by evolution for life in the dark. Look to the owl, a silent predator gliding through the moonlit forest. Its wide, forward-facing eyes are packed with light-sensitive cells, granting razor-sharp vision in near-total darkness. But sight isn't its only secret. Fringed feathers muffle the sound of flight, making every swoop virtually silent. The owl's ears, asymmetrically placed, triangulate even the faintest rustle of prey below. Deep in the desert, the fennec fox emerges under the cover of night. Its oversized ears act as satellite dishes, picking up the tiniest movements of insects and rodents beneath the sand. The pale coat reflects moonlight, blending seamlessly into the dunes, while thick fur on its feet protects against the chill of the night and the heat of the ground. In the rainforest canopy, the slow loris moves with deliberate care. Large, round eyes help it navigate the dense foliage after dusk, while a keen sense of smell guides it to fruit and insects. Its grip is unyielding, aided by specialized blood flow in its limbs, allowing it to hang motionless for hours, safe from predators and hidden from prey. Bats, the only true flying mammals, rule the skies after dark. Their world is shaped not by sight, but by sound. Using echolocation, they emit high-frequency calls, painting a sonic picture of their surroundings as echoes bounce back. This allows them to snatch insects mid-air with astonishing precision, even in pitch-black caves or tangled forests. Even beneath the waves, nocturnal life thrives. The flashlight fish, for example, sports glowing organs beneath its eyes. These natural headlights illuminate plankton and small prey while confusing would-be hunters. In the darkness, bioluminescence becomes both a tool for hunting and a shield against danger. For many nocturnal animals, darkness is not a barrier, but an opportunity, a time when competition thins and predators sleep. From camouflage that blends with moon shadows to heightened senses that pierce the gloom, these adaptations reveal how life flourishes in the absence of light. In the animal kingdom, the night belongs to those who can master its mysteries. Their survival is a testament to nature's ingenuity, proving that even in darkness, life never truly sleeps. In the intricate web of life, every creature plays a part, often in ways that go unseen. Animals are not just inhabitants of their environments. Many are architects, caretakers and regulators, shaping the very structure and health of their ecosystems. Consider the African savanna where elephants roam. These gentle giants are more than just herbivores, they are ecosystem engineers. As they travel, elephants uproot trees, clear shrubs, and create open grasslands. This seemingly destructive behavior actually fosters biodiversity, making space for grasses to thrive and for grazing animals like zebras and antelopes to flourish. Waterholes, dug by elephants during dry spells, become lifelines for countless species, sustaining life during the harshest months. In the rainforests of Central and South America, leafcutter ants perform a different kind of magic. Marching in endless lines, they harvest leaves not for food, but as fertilizer for underground fungus farms. This fungus, cultivated with precision, is the ant's true meal. As they prune vegetation, leafcutter ants accelerate plant growth and nutrient cycling, while their tunnels aerate the soil, improving water flow and root health for the entire forest. Journey to the coral reefs, where tiny fish called cleaner wrasses hold court. Larger fish, from parrotfish to groupers, visit cleaning stations where wrasses pick off parasites and dead skin. This mutual exchange does more than keep fish healthy. It reduces disease, maintains population balance, and even influences the behavior of entire reef communities. High above, in temperate forests, woodpeckers become accidental landlords. Their relentless pecking carves out tree cavities, which later become nesting sites for owls, bluebirds, and even some mammals. Without woodpeckers, these safe havens would be scarce, threatening the survival of many forest dwellers. On the tundra, Arctic foxes and lemmings share a delicate dance. When lemming populations boom, foxes thrive. Their burrows, abandoned after the season, provide shelter for birds and small mammals, fostering a network of life in a harsh, unforgiving landscape. From the smallest insect to the mightiest mammal, animals are the gears that keep ecosystems running smoothly. They pollinate plants, disperse seeds, control pests, and create habitats. Remove just one species, and the ripple effects can be felt throughout the web of life. In nature, balance is not an accident. It is the result of countless interactions, each animal playing its vital role in the grand design. Across continents, through oceans, and over mountains, animals embark on epic journeys, migrations that defy imagination. These annual odysseys are not just acts of survival. They are marvels of navigation and endurance, shaped by millions of years of evolution. Consider the monarch butterfly. Each autumn, these delicate insects travel up to 3,000 miles from North America to the forests of central Mexico. Guided by the sun's position, an internal circadian clock, and even Earth's magnetic field, monarchs navigate a route they have never flown before, generation after generation. In the world's oceans, humpback whales undertake one of the longest migrations of any mammal, swimming up to 16,000 miles round-trip between polar feeding grounds and tropical breeding waters. Scientists believe whales use a combination of sonar, ocean currents, and possibly the Earth's magnetic cues to find their way across the featureless sea. On the African savanna, millions of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles move in synchronized herds, chasing the rains that bring fresh grass. Their journey is triggered by environmental cues, changing temperatures, the scent of rain on the wind, and the promise of water and food. Birds are perhaps the most famous navigators. The Arctic tern, a tiny seabird, holds the record for the longest migration, flying from the Arctic to the Antarctic and back each year, a staggering 44,000 miles. They use the sun, stars, magnetic fields, and even polarized light to chart their course across the globe. But migration isn't just about distance, it's about timing. Salmon, born in freshwater streams, mature in the vastness of the ocean, then return with uncanny precision to the very river where they began life. Using chemical cues in the water and the Earth's magnetic field, they swim upstream, overcoming rapids and waterfalls to spawn and complete their life cycle. Even the smallest creatures undertake astonishing journeys. The bogong moth, native to Australia, migrates hundreds of miles to cool mountain caves, navigating at night by sensing the Earth's magnetic field and visual landmarks. These great migrations shape ecosystems, transport nutrients, and create opportunities for countless other species. They are nature's grand experiments in endurance, memory, and precision. Proof that even without maps or compasses, animals are expert travelers on the world's wild roads. The next time you see a flock of birds overhead or a butterfly resting on a flower, remember, you may be witnessing the start or the end of one of the greatest journeys on Earth. In the relentless arms race of survival, nature has equipped animals with an astonishing array of defenses, evolved over millions of years, refined with every challenge. When predators stalk and dangers loom, the difference between life and death often comes down to one crucial factor: defense. Some creatures rely on armor, their bodies transformed into living fortresses. The pangolin, for example, is wrapped in tough, overlapping scales made of keratin, the same material as human fingernails. When threatened, it curls into an impenetrable ball, thwarting even the most determined attackers. Turtles and tortoises retreat into their bony shells, a strategy so effective it has endured since the time of the dinosaurs. Others wield chemical weapons. The bombardier beetle, a tiny insect, can unleash a boiling chemical spray from its abdomen, deterring predators with a noxious burst. Poison dart frogs, resplendent in neon hues, carry toxins in their skin, potent enough to stop a predator in its tracks. Even the delicate monarch butterfly is laced with toxins, making it a distasteful meal for birds, a warning sign signaled by its bright colors. Speed is another line of defense. The pronghorn antelope of North America is built for flight, capable of reaching speeds up to 55 miles per hour, outrunning nearly any pursuer on the open plains. Gazelles rely on agility, darting and zigzagging to confuse predators. For some, the best defense is simply to vanish. Masters of camouflage like the leaf-tailed gecko blend seamlessly into their surroundings, becoming invisible to all but the sharpest eyes. Then there are the bluffers animals that mimic danger to avoid it. The harmless king snake sports the same bold colors as the venomous coral snake, tricking would-be predators into keeping their distance. Pufferfish inflate into spiny balls when threatened, doubling their apparent size and making themselves nearly impossible to swallow. Even collective behavior can serve as a shield. Sardines gather in swirling schools, confusing predators with their synchronized movements. Meerkats post sentinels, watching for threats and warning the group with distinct alarm calls. These defenses are more than just adaptations. They are stories written in flesh and bone, in color and movement. They are the legacy of ancient battles, the blueprint for survival in a world where danger is ever present. In the theater of life, every creature plays its part, armed with the tools evolution has granted. From armored hides to toxic tricks, from blinding speed to perfect camouflage, the art of defense is a masterpiece of nature's design, silent, subtle, and endlessly inventive.